Hey, this is Sam here from samnuka.com, and I want to thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video training. In this particular video, we're going to discuss headlines that actually work. And what I mean by that is writing headlines that work does actually take work, but it is well worth every painstaking minute. So the video outline is basically we're going to be covering four things in particular. Number one being headlines definition. Number two, an example of great headlines. Number three, a headline that actually grabs attention. And number four, the best sales headline. So we're going to be covering quite a bit in this video, okay? But I'll try and keep it as brief as possible so as not to waste any of your time. Headlines definition. When I was looking into it, what I actually found with Google was a heading at the top of an article or a page in a newspaper or magazine. Now, that's actually pretty good. I like that. That's pretty straightforward. Sam says a headline is the first title of whatever it is you're writing, whether it's a video script, blog post, website page, email subject, and so on and so forth. So for example, the headline of this particular page is headlines definition, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. What really started changing my mindset about the whole headline thing was this quote that I heard from a seven-figure, I believe he's actually now a 10-figure earner, 8-figure earner, I'm sorry, so that's in the tens of millions. The headline is the ad of the ad, so it is actually really important, and that's why I was saying that it is actually quite important to take every painstaking minute it requires to craft a good headline, okay? Because basically the headline is your initial point of contact, right? Just like when you were to go into a job interview. As much as I really hate to think that we are that superficial, we really are, right? We as human beings, we look at something and we judge it by its cover, you know. Well, at least 99% of the time that is the case, subconsciously or otherwise. It's the same thing when it comes to videos, blog posts, website pages, and so on, right? Even with emails, especially, this happens quite a lot. People basically scan the headlines to decide what it is that they're actually going to invest their time and attention into, right? And if the headline isn't something that stands out or is worthwhile for them, they're not even going to bother, okay? So a headline that grabs attention. You don't really want to grab attention, you want to get people to take action. And I believe it was the great Dan Kennedy who actually said you want to get people to take inspired action, right? So basically, you want to be able to create a headline that makes someone just want to drool at the idea of not clicking on whatever it is that you put out there. So the mindset is if you were to write an actual headline, you need to ask yourself an important question. If you put just a headline and a phone number to call you, how many people would actually call you, right? And this is basically the power of headlines. If you were to say no, not very many people would call me, or no one would call me, then your headline sucks and you need to go back and put in a little bit more time, right? Focus on the power of headlines, as we've already said. So, you know, be willing to invest the time to create a good headline. Headlines that actually work. You want to use high emotion words and phrases. So for example, there's a different value and power behind words like lawyer versus attorney, right? Or someone saying overweight versus fat ass, right? Both, whilst they basically imply the same thing, there is so much more power in specific words, and you want to make sure you use them, okay? This is where it comes in handy, knowing your target market, and more specifically your ideal customer, okay? So that basically you can craft a message and a headline using the high emotion words and phrases to be able to grab their attention, to force them to click on something, okay? So in the headline offer, you want to be able to promise a result, a benefit, or relief of a truly emotional pain point. Again, I go back to knowing your ideal customer, okay? These are all hot buttons that you want to make sure that you trigger and that you push when it comes to creating these headlines. People are actually motivated by results, benefits, and relief of some sort of pain. So you want to be able to get your best stuff out up front, meaning you want to give great advice, before you ask for absolutely anything. Okay, don't ask for a sale in a headline. You're wasting your time. Don't ask for a sale at the beginning of an email, beginning of a blog post, beginning of a website page, beginning of a video for that matter. Go ahead and watch all my videos and see how many of them actually offer you anything at the very beginning. I will guarantee you will find zero, and that is for a very good reason. You want to be able to provide value first, because you want to be able to offer to help people gain results, benefits, and relieve some sort of pain. Okay, and if you can be that person when it comes time to buying, you will be the one that they'll turn to, right? And that's basically what this is all about. So, 5 famous headlines in copywriting history, if you will. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book by the great Dale Carnegie. This is a brilliant book, right? Everybody knows this book. Basically, anyone in network marketing, MLM, online business, personal development, business. There are so many worlds that this book is touching, because basically being able to build a influence and basically creating friends is really what it's all about, right? Relationship marketing is where it's really at. It took me a while to understand that. I always thought that it was about the training and the strategies and providing for example, ebooks or videos. It's not really, it's really actually about engaging with people and proving that you have something worthwhile to them, which can be time, attention, and effort, right? If you put it in them, they'll be willing to put back into you, okay? Whether that be your business, your product, your coaching, whatever affiliate it is that you're offering, okay? This book, this title is so damn good that it's actually sold. It is the second best-selling book in the Western world, behind only the Bible, right? Which is a little hard to beat when you consider how many people are involved, okay? So, the next one is, do you make these mistakes in English? This is a headline that was actually used for a very, very long time, and it took quite a while. And if you look at how basic it is, do you make these mistakes in English? Like, that's pretty damn simple, right? But extremely powerful, straight to the point, covers some emotional pains, which is obviously the mistakes in English. Number 3, how I improved my memory in one evening. Super powerful, right? Because it says it covers a benefit, which is improved memory, right? And it makes it very direct and to the individual, talking about my memory, and it was able to produce a result instantly, which is in one evening. Yeah. So number 4, how a discovery made a plain girl beautiful. Now, me personally, I'm not too sure about this one. Now, I know that it was obviously one of the 5 most famous headlines ever, but I think that's this speaks a lot more to vanity than anything else, which is something I don't really know anything about. I'm a pretty simple guy. For those of you who have seen any of my daily marketing dimes, I've typically got half a beard, my hair's a little scruffy, and I'm wearing basketball jerseys or, plain white or black or grey t-shirt, so that headline to me personally doesn't stand out at all, but I do understand why it was so successful, because so many girls would be willing to click on that to find out what this discovery and secret was that made this plain looking girl so beautiful, right? It was probably a lifetime supply of makeup. Anyway, number 5. At 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in this new Rolls-Royce comes from the electric clock. Now, this is probably the most famous headline of the copywriting world. What this is basically saying, and this ran, I believe it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, sometime like that. But basically, Rolls-Royce had brought out a car that was so quiet, it was so luxurious, that when you drove it, it was ridiculously smooth, and the only thing that you could hear was the ticking of the clock, right? Which doesn't even make sense, because electric clocks don't tick anyway. But either way, it got the point across in one sentence with a few words, and it hit the exact benefits of what this vehicle was all about, okay? Now, headline best practices. There's obviously a ton of things, but there's 3 things in particular that I just want to touch on quickly for you. When in doubt, start with how to, and then add a result or a benefit, or obviously a relief of some sort of pain, as we've discussed quite a bit already. Number 2, don't state anything that's untrue. It must be truth to work well, because ultimately, if you the idea obviously of having a great line is to have a headline, is to have someone click on it to look at whatever it is, blog post, video, whatever, right? And if it's untrue, you're probably going to get complaints, you're going to get spam hits, You're going to get product refunds. So there's no point being unethical. Okay. I really don't understand people who even bother with this sort of stuff, but it is out there, and I sure as hell hope you're not one of them. If you are, let me be 100% honest. You really need to get away from that world, or get away from me, okay? Because I don't want anything to do with it. Number 3, whenever you make claims, back them up in your copy. So if you're going to put out an outrageous headline, you make sure you prove that outrageous headline when people click to go to that email, or to watch that video, or to read your blog post or that website review page. Okay, you want to back it up in your copy, because they're going to be looking for that BS meter. They're going to be looking to be disappointed, because people are naturally cynical when it comes to the online world. Okay, and we don't really want to hype things. I hate hyping things. I really can't stand it, and I would urge you really to just stay away from it. But when you're going to make claims, hyped or not, you need to back it up in whatever it is that you're writing in the next lot. Okay, so basically this video, I said at the very beginning that it was all about headlines, and then I gave you the 4 things that we were going to cover, and here we are step by step going through it all. Okay, so in summary, basically we've covered headlines that actually work, examples of some great headlines, headlines that actually grab attention. And remember, it's not about grabbing attention, it's about getting people to take inspired action. And number 4, we've gone through the best sales headlines that the world has ever seen. Right now, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really want to thank you for taking the time and stopping by. I want to urge you to do one more thing. Go ahead and check out my blog post, check out my email marketing course, and at the very least get your daily tips, your daily marketing tips emailed directly to your inbox. Video trainings like this you'll be notified of, great blog posts and trainings and tutorials that I put out every single week, up to 3 times a week, and more importantly, you're going to be able to connect with me personally. Right, if you've got any questions at all, please leave your comments below, reach out and connect with me. But again, once again, first and foremost, get this training right away that's available for you to help you improve your email marketing efforts. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.